Greetings, my friends, and welcome to Gothic Lace Translucent Millefiori. Hey, just a reminder, any information and links you need are below your YouTube video, and you click on that little tiny black triangle, and it takes you to the description box. Well, that's just an FYI. Today's cane was used for that bracelet in its end-up size, which was about 1 inch. But you can reduce it, you can lay it over color. It's super flexible, and I really find that being able to make different scale of a cane really makes it a lot more flexible. Also, it's gorgeous over Skinner blends. This is the cane from our other translucent tutorial, and I did some easy cuffs and some bangles with it. It was just a blast, and it's really pretty easy, and it's pretty forgiving because when you roll over this to attach it to the color, it spreads it out, so if you've over reduced it, you're okay there. So we start today with 3 packs of translucent. I've cut them up like this, kind of makes it easier to start, and we're putting them in the clay machine and making a nice sheet. That's a number 1 setting, and you don't have to worry too much about the size of that. You just want to end up with a 4-inch wide, 7-inch long sheet. So once you get all your material flattened like this, just cut this sheet 4 by 7 and roll it up so it's 4 inches wide. And that's really the main body of this entire cane. It's a very simple cane. Make a bevel cut at the edge so that when you seal it up, you won't have a seam. And that really works well in any kind of caning because that bump there is going to create a line, and we don't necessarily want that. But take the rest and make a log for fill, and make a sheet for some wrapping later on. We won't worry about the thickness or size right now. You'll also need a stack of black and white. The white is on a number 3, the black's on a number 2. Needs to be 4 inches wide also. And just cut it up nice and neatly, and we're going to use it later on to form our lines. Your black lines are wrapped in white, and you'll see why. Too much black in a translucent cane just causes it to be muddy, and we don't want that. So take your 4-inch log and sink a 1/2-inch cane bender into it. If you have something else to use, you can. This is what I use. And then flatten out that one side so that you end up with kind of a swoopy shape. And we're going to take our shape and we're going to wrap it with that sheet that we made of black and white. So it ends up like this, and this is really your whole cane. Alterations we make to this one shape is what makes the whole thing. And now take your cane bender, your 1/2 inch again, and make kind of a curly edge. Just sink it in and make a channel, and fill that edge in with translucent. You'll see I used a triangle and a rod to make that shape be flattened on one side and just a 1/2 circle on the other side. You can make as many indentations in your swoop as you want to. Then extend it to about 4 inches and cut it in half. Put it back together. So you're reducing, combining, cutting, just like all caning. That's mainly what the work is reducing and recombining. Now I took my little tiny 1/4 inch cane bender and I sunk it into those voids and put my wrap on there, and I took that down to about a number 3, and that's now wrapped like this. Then you want to take one side of it and kind of warp it out. You'll see that little curl I made in that right side, and that adds a lot to your cane in the end. Don't worry about symmetry right now. Just make something interesting in one or both sides, but they don't need to match. In fact, they shouldn't really match. Then kind of force it into a triangle, reduce it, cut it, and put it back together. So you see where those curls are now. They're part of your lace, and that's why you can make them all anywhere you want to. I filled the top and bottom of this with a little bit of translucent and forced it into a nice neat triangle. Reduced it to 4 inches long, cut it, put it back together again. And that's the name of the game in caning. Reduce, cut, put it back together. Made this square, and then I reduced it. But let me show you first how it looks foggy right now. Well, it's not foggy. See, that's just the way they look when they're still uncut. So don't worry about that part. So I put on my cane caps and I stuck them on the ends of my trimmed cane, and I reduced it without any waste. Those ends we're going to cut off are going to be completely intact. That's why you need to cap your round and square canes. So I took that out to about 4 inches, then out to 8 inches, and you get your magic when you cut that into 4 pieces and you put it back together. Now you have all kinds of detail there that you didn't have before. So that's the size I used for my bracelet. I was really happy with it. I want to show you my friend Tracy Jones. Look at her cane, how different it is than mine, and how pretty it is, and how gorgeous it is when you hold it up to the light. So good job, Tracy, and good job all you people that made them at Indie Jam. I hope you have fun. Bye-bye.